Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ned Bellavance, Ned1313 on Twitter, and welcome to the Daily Check-In for June 17th, 2020. Happy Wednesday. Today is my tech analysis day. That's what I've designated Wednesday as. So if you are interested in tech analysis, what's going on in our industry, Wednesday is your day to tune in and find out what's going on. Or you can just hit the playlist about my tech analysis and watch all of them there. Or you can listen to the podcast. Man, there's a lot of ways. Okay, anyway, so getting away from that, housekeeping items, I don't have any today. I'm going to be 100% honest here. I got lost in doing some code checking and writing some documentation, and I looked down and the time was 11:30 and I was like, "Oh, I should be doing my live stream right now." So I'm 5 minutes late and I'm not underprepared. I know what I'm going to talk about, but I didn't really have a chance to do my usual, "Hey, is there anything I want to talk about from a housekeeping perspective?" So consider this the housekeeping of my own mental state. I'm clearing out the cobwebs or something. All right. Anyway, let's talk about how you're doing. How are you doing? How are things going? I just want to check in with you. How's your week progressing? Did you get to have an excellent meal this week? Or maybe a really good breakfast? I have figured out this breakfast thing, and I got it from You Suck at Cooking, so I'm not going to claim any responsibility for this, or at least inspiration for this. I did not come up with this. But you basically take the lid off of a ball jar. You know, the ones where the lid, but it's not the lid, it's the rim portion of it. You spray it with nonstick spray, you put it in the pan, you crack an egg into that, give it a little tiny scramble, and then add whatever you want to it. So I put breakfast sausage, salt and pepper in it, and then sprinkled some cheese on top. And then it essentially becomes an egg McMuffin. So it's absolutely delightful. You can put it on whatever bread you want. So if you're looking for a great breakfast, and you happen to have one of those lids, it works really any sort of circular container that you can spray with nonstick spray and isn't going to melt in a pan. You're golden. So that's my fun tip, and that's what I did this week. Let's get into the topic at hand, which is Cloud Field Day 8. So if you missed my previous Tech Field Day video where I introduced what Tech Field Day is, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm going to talk about it now just a little bit and then get into what to expect for Cloud Field Day. Tech Field Day is a series of events that's put on by Stephen Foskett and Gestalt IT. And essentially what it is a bunch of vendors put on presentations for a set of delegates. There's usually 12 of them. And the 12 delegates represent influencers, bloggers, writers, and also people who just consume the technology as an end user. And they're there to represent you, your interests. What would you be curious about? What would you want to ask the vendor? And basically, as the vendor tries to put on a presentation, we also grill them with questions either from you or from our own mind and try to come up with, what does this product actually do? What is their strategy? How does it fit into different technologies and different industries? So it's a very interesting and vibrant conversation. Typically, it was done in person, so the delegates would fly out and meet together and do the whole Tech Field Day together. Obviously, right now it's virtual, but I think they've really worked hard to maintain that level of interaction between the delegates and the vendors. So, highly recommend it. Tech Field Day. You can become a delegate yourself. You can nominate yourself or someone else. So, if you're interested, hit up their websites, techfieldday.com, and check it out. Now, there's different Tech Field Days for different areas of the industry. So you have Security Field Day and Storage Field Day, Network Field Day, and my favorite, Cloud Field Day. I was invited to Cloud Field Day 3 as my first Tech Field Day event, and I've been to a bunch since then. I was invited yesterday to be part of Cloud Field Day 8, and that will be July. Let me be absolutely certain about this. I don't want to get the dates wrong. So that will be July 15th through the 17th. So there's going to be a bunch of presenters and delegates, and it's going to be live streamed. So if you go to the Tech Field Day website, you can watch the presentations live, and you can also tweet at the delegates asking questions, and they will ask those questions to the vendor who's giving the presentation. So it's a very interactive and interesting way to learn more about a technology or get more information. So it'll be the 15th through the 17th. And let me take a look at what some of the vendors are, because I am just looking at the page now since I was invited yesterday and I didn't have a chance to check and see who the vendors are. So let's take a look here. Yes, it is July 15th through the 17th. So I got that nailed down. It's virtual, like I said. And let's see. So presenting sponsors, we've got Aruba, a Hewlett Packard Enterprise Technology. So if you're not familiar with Aruba, they are big in the networking space. They really made their name by designing really good wireless systems. And wireless systems need to plug into something, so they started doing switching, and then HPE bought them, but they're still their own thing, and they've got this interesting technology called ClearPass. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to talk about at Cloud Field Day, but it's cloudy, so it's going to be something cloud related. Let's see what else we got here. We've got Diamanti, and that's a company I hadn't heard of until yesterday or 2 days ago when I got an invitation to participate in an event with them. So I guess they're really got the pedal to the metal when it comes to marketing, and Diamanti has something to do with bare metal managed Kubernetes. So that should certainly be interesting. Another one is Igneous. I'm actually working. I had a briefing from Igneous not that long ago, and they focus on really large unstructured data sets. So think about massive file shares where you're dumping tons and tons of data. We're talking petabytes. How can you more effectively store that on-prem and use the cloud as a resource? So that's what they specialize in, and that should be interesting because it is definitely a cloud discussion. We've got Infrascale, who I've never heard of, and I don't know what they do, so I'm gonna have to check that out later. I got a little homework to do. Morpheus Data. Morpheus Data has an orchestration platform that's sort of an orchestrator of orchestrators. So if you think about all the different automation technologies you might have in your environment, Morpheus Data, their job is to orchestrate those technologies together and also offer sort of blueprints and stuff to help you figure that out. So they're an interesting company. They've presented at previous Cloud Field Days, so I'm curious to see what they're going to roll out that's new. And NetApp is going to be there. They've had a really interesting cloud ride, and I've been very involved with NetApp. They were a sponsor of Day 2 Cloud for one of our episodes. Highly recommend going back and listening to that. And I'm curious to see what they've done with the cloud since I last talked to them, because they had some really, really big dreams of what they wanted to do, but they were still working through the details on a lot of it. And they might be at the point, this is 3-4 months later, where they've rolled some of this technology out. So that's going to be cool. Another one, Qumulo, Qumulo. I don't know. So don't know that one, obviously. You're going to have to find out A, what they do, and B, how to pronounce that. And lastly, we've got two more. We've got Veeam. Veeam has been a previous presenter. They're, best known for their data protection product, especially tied closely to VMware, but they've expanded beyond that to start protecting stuff that's going on in the cloud. So I'm curious to see what they've done since then. And then finally, Zurdo. Zurdo is a real-time replication solution for virtualization. And I know that one of the targets was for cloud, so you could replicate your on-premises VMware workloads, let's say, directly to VMs running in a cloud. And Zurdo would handle that replication down to a really low recovery points of a few minutes or under a few minutes. So impressive technology. I'm curious to see what they have done since that time, because that was back when I was still working for VAR. So over 2 years ago, probably, is last time I talked to anyone at Zurdo. So I don't know what they've done in the cloud space since then. And, one would assume in 2 years they've done something. So those are all the different presenting sponsors. I'm very excited to hear, especially the companies that don't know, like Infrascale and Qumulo. Who are you? What do you do? Tell me more. And maybe if you're interested, you can jump on the live stream, watch it, and then submit questions to me or one of the other delegates. And I'm happy to be a mouthpiece for you and ask those questions. Let's see who's on the delegate panel. A lot of people I know. Adam Fisher, who I'm actually going to be doing a podcast for Day 2 Cloud. Later this week, we're going to be recording the podcast. So I already kind of know him, but I'm excited to interact more with him. Some other people, Enrico Signoretti. I think that's how you say his name. Enrico and I work on some other things as well, so it's good to see he's there. Who else do I know in here? Paul L. Woodward Jr. I think he follows me on Twitter and I follow him, that we've never directly interacted. And Ray Lucchesi, another person that I follow on Twitter and he follows me, but we've never directly interacted. So this is exciting. A lot of interesting people, and I'm excited to see more added because this is not the full list yet. More people are being invited and added as we speak. So that's everything I wanted to talk about to sort of the Cloudfield Day 8 prep. I think I'm also going to do a little research on those two companies that I don't know anything about and haven't heard of prior to that. And maybe I'll do a small tech analysis video of those in the ramp up to Cloudfield Day 8. But you can also expect that after Cloudfield Day happens, I'll have a few wrap up videos as I think through what I learned at the presentations and how it fits into the larger tech landscape. So those are my thoughts on Cloudfield Day 8, and I hope you enjoyed them. Tomorrow is Thursday, so it's Thursdays on the Edge. If you're interested in edge computing technology, definitely tune in for that. Until then,